Lakefield District Secondary School is a little bit behind the times when it comes to their technology. We're still using computer carts, we're still using regular labs, and in all honesty, when the school board started talking about moving to the cloud, there were some individuals that were fairly upset because they don't really understand the fact that most of us have been using cloud-based systems for over 5 years. My concern at this point is that our students are going to fall behind in terms of the training that they need to adequately use technology when they leave here. And they'll end up like the person in this next clip. This poor fellow is an excellent example of where some of us are right now. He has been spending so much time in his lab working on technology that he hasn't noticed that what he's built is already obsolete. The world has passed him by.
Enough about my data. I've put in electronic cyber security locks on it. So even if you can break into my office tomorrow, you can take every one of my computers, and none of my customers are going to be compromised.
How much have you guys invested in this so far?
The development of this cost $500,000.
Where did you get the $500,000 from, you guys?
Angel investors, friends and family and
So
investors.
people have put money into this?
Absolutely.
At what value?
500,000 is the cash that was put into it. This is
Oh
not
my
counting
God.
sweat equity,
At what,
the
over
time,
what
the effort.
time? Over what time did they put the money in?
This product was developed over the course of 5 years.
Why don't you have any sales over 5 years? Why don't you have one customer?
Because we were perfecting the product. We want to make sure that it works.
Why in the world would I ever do this with you until you prove that a customer wants it?
We're trying to spend our time perfecting something that is imperfectible. As a result, we're getting nowhere fast. Our technology is getting older and older and more obsolete, and our students are being left farther and farther behind. That's why one of the ways to deal with this problem is a BYOD, bring your own device, policy. This is something that will allow our students to use their current technology and will lighten the load on our school technology as a result. This means that students that have the technology will use the technology, and ones that don't, we should be able to provide more up-to-date tech to fill in that gap. Everybody wins. This leads us to another problem though. A lot of our colleagues are not comfortable using the technology that we have already, let alone newer tech. So how do we deal with that problem? How do we deal with the issue that the fear doesn't really come from the technology itself, it actually comes from not being able to adequately show our students how to use it? They fear failure, just like our kids do. How do we deal with this as an issue? Well, one of the things that many of the other schools have done is to set aside a room that's a tech lab for staff. No students are allowed in, only staff. We put the newest technology before we actually roll it out to the students in that area and give our staff time, including time on PD days, to play with the technology, to try it out, to do whatever they want. It can be supervised at times by someone such as myself, but one way or another, what we allow the staff to do is to play with the technology, become comfortable with the technology, learn what it can do, and then they'll be more apt to integrate it into their own class. So the question now becomes, how do we get our staff to become comfortable with technology? Well, this is where the Technasium comes in. also need to look into new technology. What you're seeing being demonstrated right now is a 3D printer. It's not really that new. The technology's been around for a while, but it used to be prohibitively expensive. Now we can pick up 3D printers for around $1,000, depending on the quality. With a 3D printer, we can do all sorts of things we could never do before. The kids can design new artistic works. They can work on physics projects. Perhaps they could create a skull of an Australopithecus afarensis for my history class or for anthropology. Really, what's available is endless. But of course, we have to get on board, we have to put the money out, and we have to look into getting what we need in terms of support technology to be able to do this. So now what I'm going to leave you with is a demonstration of one of the new startup businesses for the modern age. These gentlemen, when I met them over the weekend, actually have started their own business creating 3D statues of human beings. They're so lifelike, it was frightening. And the reason it is because they scan the entire human body with multiple cameras, and they use a 3D printer to generate it. I didn't meet them at the conference. I actually met them in one of the stores in downtown Niagara Falls. This stuff is coming, and our students are either going to be able to work within it, or they're going to have difficulties once they leave here.